All right, everybody, welcome back. It's just me and Riley today. Will is off fishing, living the country boy life that he lives.
Hey, get
But
out of my country, boy.
so we wanted to go ahead and get a video out of our draft, our Dynasty Rookie Draft that we did. Some players we're excited about that we picked up, and some players that could have potentially landed in some really good positions. So we're just going to start it off. And with the 101 in our rookie draft, I had the pick, and I decided that I was going 101 Clyde Edwards-Helaire of the Kansas City Chiefs. All week, people were hitting me up for the pick. They wanted it. They were telling me Joe Burrow. They were telling me CD. But really, I knew that everyone was colluding against me, and you were all conspiring. Don't try to get me, and
You are cracked.
you all wanted Clyde, but I got him. He's on the team, and that's just how it is. I expect Clyde big year, somewhere upwards around 60 receptions, maybe 700, 800 yards, but a lot of touchdowns because he's going to be getting those, goal line work, whether receiving or rushing touchdowns out of the backfield. His landing spot, no better running back in the draft landed in a better spot than he did, and he was the first running back off the board. There's really not much left to say about it other than, that's where he is. Riley, do you have anything you want to add just about Clyde?
Yeah, he pre-draft I had him like running back 6 or 7, but when I saw that he landed in Kansas City, you can't deny that, man. Just the thought of him becoming like the next Kareem Hunt. I loved Clyde. Once I saw he went to Kansas City, I was definitely jealous. I was trying to get into that 101. I was trying to make you think I was taking Joe. Considering where your team's at, you still don't have a third quarterback. You got some nice running back situation.
Yeah, I like where I'm sitting with my running back and even my receivers right now. Quarterback's question mark currently, but hopefully we can fix it when the season gets here. I don't really know who I want to trade for. There's not like a quarterback out there. I'm like, man, I want to get that guy besides like, Kyler or Patrick, but I'm not about to pay for him right now.
Might have one in the next video for you. So smash game, stay tuned.
All right, you hear it from there. My other guy I got in the second round. I actually came to the draft with only one pick, the 101. That was all I had in the 4-round rookie draft. But I traded out or traded in at 206, I believe. Yeah, 206. Keyshawn Vaughan, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was on the board. I ended up trading Terry McLaurin, and that was it. That was it. Yeah, Terry McLaurin for this pick, which turned out to be Keyshawn Vaughn and Tony Pollard. And I have Zeke, so I had that insurance, which, Tony Pollard could take over the time at Montgomery role in Dallas. I really have no idea, but either way, I got the two there. And I'm hoping that I have the one in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. So I traded in, thought it'd be good. Terry McLaurin really wouldn't play a big role for me. I mean, he's a young developing receiver, but he had a question mark in Washington. So I liked Keyshawn's stability where he was better than Terry Mack.
Looking on it, I thought you like gave up a lot. You gave up a lot to go get Keyshawn, but if he turns out to end up being like the running back one in Tampa, and like I personally think they're going to use him like James White. Like Brady sees that guy, like that's my James White.
Yeah.
And if he's James White in fantasy, you're talking about a guy who is going to be a consistent like 15 points every week, and he's going to end the year. He's not going to be a sexy pick, but he's going to end the year as like a running back, like RB2.
And I just need some stability down there. I mean, currently he's in a taxi spot. He's not even starting. So, I just think that was a great move for me to go get him. And that was the end of my draft, everybody. I had my two picks. I took two running backs. My team was already good how it was. I'll probably just throw up my whole roster. We only have two of us on here right now. I'll just go ahead and throw up my whole roster over here on the side. I'll do the same for Riley. So this is where I'm sitting right now. And I'm feeling pretty good about everything except, my QB3 situation.
Yeah, so I actually had like a polar opposite draft of Jones. I went into the draft, I think I had 6 or 7 picks, and I had like 3 second-round picks next year, and I really, really, like I went into the draft saying like I'm going to be aggressive. Like I'm going to be trading up, and I actually think I traded up 4 times in the draft.
Yeah, there's a lot of trades.
Yeah, and I had 103 and 104. I took Jonathan Taylor and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, there's not much to say. Probably your RB2 and RB3 going into the draft, going into terrific landing spots in my mind. It was like a no-brainer. At 109, I think I got the steal of the draft. Tua Tagovailoa dropped to me at 9, and we're in a super flex. So, like, to me, I got a guy who's got a chance to be a star quarterback at the 9th pick.
Yeah, that was insane to me. Even the fact that Tua fell that far, I expected him to go, anywhere between 1-3 and 1-5,
Yeah,
and I wasn't picking. So after I made my pick, I kind of like went idle for a little bit. I was doing some other stuff at the time, and I looked up and Tua was still on the board. Man, I just couldn't believe it.
yeah. It took like everything in my power to not take him at 104. But I looked at my team, and I was pretty set at quarterback, and I definitely needed running back. So I went JK. I tried to trade out of that pick and, like, get somebody to come up and get Tua. Nobody would give me anything worth of crap. So I went ahead and took JK. And I kind of had a feeling before the draft because the guy at 106 already took Joe. The guy at 105 was hyping Akers. So and the guy at 107, he has Kyler and Mahomes. So I didn't think he was going to take him. The guy at 108, he loves UGA, so I knew he was going to take Swift. Like, I kind of had Homer, yeah, definitely. I kind of had a feeling before the draft that, like, Tua might have a chance to fall. I tried to trade up to 7, and then that guy ended up taking Judy, and I was like, holy shit, I'm about to get Tua at 109. So I was absolutely ecstatic about that pick. If Tua falls to 109 in your fantasy rookie draft, go get him.
I don't know what's good. If Tua falls to 105 in your rookie draft, you're going to
go get him.
Super flex.
Yeah, super flex, definitely. So then at 203, I actually traded 207 and 210 to go draft Jalen Rhaegar. Absolutely love him.
Great pick.
He's going to the guy in Carson Wentz who might have the best deep ball in the league. Jalen Rhaegar, he's a deep ball guy, playmaker.
Carson Wentz has a better deep ball than Mahomes?
I would say so, yeah.
That's a take. Can't wait to put that one in the headline. Carson Wentz, better deep ball than Mahomes.
Just making a type video. But, yeah, I love Jalen Rhaegar. He's got a chance to be the wide receiver 1. I actually tried to trade up to go get Henry Ruggs, but I'll take Jalen Rhaegar at 2-3. And then I actually ended up trading back to – I traded to 2-9. I traded a second-round pick next year and, like, swapped third-round picks with a guy. And other than Jordan Love, the last first-rounder, like, in real life was on the board, Brandon Ayuk. And I wasn't, like, super high on him pre-draft, but I think he's going into a spot where he's with an insanely intelligent coach who knows exactly how he wants to use his guys. And I don't know if Brandon Ayuk's going to break out in the first year, but I definitely think that he's in a spot where he can succeed. And I actually just traded for Deebo Samuel, like, right before I drafted Ayuk. So I was kind of nervous about it, but yeah. I think those two are going to complement each other really, really well. And one of them is bound to, be a really, really solid fantasy wide receiver. At 3-7, I waited on my guy, and we'll talk about him a little bit at the end, but I got Antonio Gibson. As a Darius Geis owner, I was absolutely ecstatic to get Antonio Gibson at 3-7. And then finally at 3-10, it didn't even hit me until 3-7, and this guy was still on the board. But I traded up. I traded Chase Edmonds and the 404 to move up to 310, and I went and grabbed Jalen Hurts. As a Wentz owner, we've seen Wentz. I mean, just it is what it is, man. He has
evaporate.
Yeah, he just has a hard time staying on the field. And my whole thought was I can give a guy who's probably like my RB 7 or 8, pretty far down the line. He's not going to get a ton of time unless Drake gets hurt. To get that insurance on Wentz.
Real question, real quick. Has anyone ever seen Carson Wentz and Prince Harry in the same place?
They're the same person. I'm totally convinced. Like, Prince Harry is the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. But for me, it was all insurance. Like, in my mind, I wasn't necessarily worried about getting Wentz on my team. Hurts on my team. I was more interested in keeping Hurts off of somebody else's team. Because if Carson Wentz goes down and Jalen Hurts comes in and he turns out to have like Lamar Jackson rushing upside,
Yeah.
I'm going to be so pissed. So I went and got my guy.
Did you also see the report that they're actually talking about running 2 quarterback sets with Wentz and Hurts on the field at the same time?
That's bullshit. I don't want to hear that. Like,
Okay.
I mean, maybe they use him like Taysom Hill, but I mean, that's
Yeah, that's what it is. But they were like, but on steroids.
no, I don't want to hear that shit, dude. I
Yeah,
don't.
just go ahead and move on to the next pick.
Yeah, well, that was the end of my picks. So
It was because you moved up.
yeah, that was the
So
end of
yeah, I've probably already thought ahead of this and put the draft up here, so you can see pretty much everyone's picks. You know, everyone's moved around, so you can see where the teams are right now. Let's talk about 2 players that went in the first round that maybe turn out to be in a better situation than we think. First is Cam Akers going to the Los Angeles Rams, and he's going to a running back room that features Malcolm Brown and now Daryl Henderson. So, do you think that Cam is actually going to emerge as the actual running back one there immediately? Do you see it happening over time, or do you think that he's just part of a committee and that's how it's going to be?
pre-draft. I wasn't super high on Cam. Seeing him land in Los Angeles, like your mind immediately goes into I'm getting the next Todd Gurley. But I don't think Cam Akers is Todd Gurley. Like I don't
Yeah.
think their talent is the same. Out of the 3 that I think is dead, unfortunately, RIP, like this is probably not going to be consensus. I think Daryl Henderson's dead. And the reason I say that is because, like, I don't think he's a talent. I don't think he's very good. Go look at his yards per carry. He sucks. But the Rams like Malcolm Brown. There's a reason that they like Malcolm Brown. I mean, he's been there for 3-4 years. He's been vulturing goal line carries from Gurley. He works a lot in the pass pro. I could see Malcolm Brown, working in, getting like 5 to 7 touches a game, but that's 5 to 7 touches that Akers is not getting this year. And then you got to factor in Henderson. I think, after seeing him not use him last year, I would not buy him like at all.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get off Henderson the day before the draft, and man, that was crazy. The fact that I traded him and got a lot of value out of what he was. I mean, I essentially turned him into T.Y. Hilton, who's going to play a role. Another person in the first round that I wanted to look at was Jerry Jeudy going to Denver. And Denver already had Cortland Sutton, who was emerging as a wide receiver one. They had Noah Fant, who they invested a lot in at tight end, who's just an athletic freak. And, I mean, the rest of their draft, they went ahead and just kept drafting receivers and assets for Drew Lock to throw to. So do you see Jerry Jeudy as like a 1, a 2, a 1A, 1B with Sutton? Like, what do you see happening with this high capital wide receiver taking it in our first round?
I think it's going to be a lot of what do the other teams in the NFL think? Like which receiver is going to get the best corner in their matchup? Because if Jeudy is the one who's taking like your Tre'Davious White, or he's the one that's taking like a Marshawn Lattimore or something like that, he's going to be the B and Sutton's going to be the A. But if everybody keeps, their stud on Sutton, I think Judy's got a real chance to rise. I think time will tell on that one. If I had to pick which one I'd rather own in a dynasty, I would probably pick Jerry Jeudy, simply from the fact that he's younger, he's got a little higher pedigree. But at the same time, like, I'm not like going out and selling Cortland Sutton immediately for.
Yeah, when you say younger, it's not like Cortland's 30; it's like 23.
No. Yeah. I just think Jerry Jeudy is. They didn't draft him to go be a scrub. They didn't spend the 15th overall pick for Jerry Jeudy to just be a role player. And I think time will tell. I would probably rather own Jerry Jeudy if I'm in it, like, especially if I'm rebuilding. Like, I would sell Cortland Sutton for Jerry Jeudy right now. If I'm competing, I don't think I would do that going into the rookie season.
Well, those are, kind of the high-profile guys that we had from this year's draft. Let's talk about maybe one or sleeper that we each have. And I'll just go ahead and start. And it's who went at the 301 in our draft, A.J. Dillon. And I tried to get this pick because I wanted to grab
Me too.
I wanted to grab AJ Dillon in Green Bay because he is a tank. He's a monster. He's just a big man who knows how to run the football. And what better place to go to do that than the Green Bay Packers? And I think that, Aaron Jones, they don't love Aaron Jones in Green Bay as, productive as he is. And other than that, they have Jamal Williams, who is as entertaining as he is as a person, isn't the best running back choice. So AJ Dillon, I think maybe working with Aaron Jones or maybe, any other combination of running backs, he's liable to be like running back 1-2 in his first year.
Yeah. I totally agree. When I traded up to 2-9, I went and I eventually got Ayuk, but it was so hard for me to not take AJ Dillon at 2-9. My thing was I just went with the draft capital, and as bad as the Packers draft was, you could easily see Matt LaFleur, like if they go 8-8, get canned. Like like Rodgers would be totally pissed, and they have to choose between Aaron Rodgers and the coach, which they really already just drafted Aaron Rodgers' replacement. So I don't know what they would do. I don't want to be a part of that Green Bay situation right now.
Yeah, that is one thing. It's just not like team you want to buy into with your fantasy assets.
Yeah. It was a great segue into another team that you definitely want to buy into with your fantasy assets. So my sleeper is from the epitome of a dumpster fire in the NFL, the Washington Redskins. I got Antonio Gibson at 3-7, and for me, when they drafted him, everybody had questions of, is he going to be a receiver or is he going to be a running back? And he tweeted out a picture where he had number 24 on his jersey, like that's the jersey he's going to wear. And then it came out, oh shit, dude, like they're drafting him to be a running back. And to me, I immediately thought this dude's going to be Chris Thompson.
Yeah.
And like
who's not hurt all the time.
Yeah, who's not hurt all the time. And when you think about Chris Thompson, like he was like James White. He was a top 20, PPR running back who was getting fed 6-7 targets a game. And, they're talking about working him into the slot. And it's not like they have a ton of playmakers there in Washington. I think him as a late, is a third round guy who's got the best possibility to see the field and be like a really, really productive player in year one. I don't think there's anybody else in that range that's really, really going to do that. And for me personally, I own Darius Geis. I'll stand on the table for Darius Geis, but I mean, it is what it is, dude. You've played 4 NFL games in 2 years. It's time to shit or get off the pot. So if Darius Geis gets hurt again, they can either go with, Adrian Peterson on his 9th life, or they can put this young rookie in who they're saying they think has the skill set of Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, don't forget about Bryce Love. He's on the pup. He's on the pup list. He can come off.
Yeah, Bryce Love. I'm shaking in my boots over
here. Hey, he was a Heisman candidate, bro, at one point. At one point in life, he was a Heisman candidate.
Before he had he got knee surgery, and now he's like the Terminator.
If he's got a robotic knee, that's perfectly okay with me. I would probably definitely buy into that.
There's rules against performance enhancing drugs. Are there rules against performance enhancing knees?
Has anyone asked? It's probably why Tom Brady's still playing. What if Tom Brady's just Terminator Brady?
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Tominator Brady. That'd be pretty good. I came up with that right here, right now. That was off the dome.
Trademark that before Brady does, like he did Tampa Bay.
What?
You didn't know that?
I have to research that. I have to research that one.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I swear he trademarked that.
Okay. Well. Yeah. That's our video for today. For the draft. Rocking the best draft pick of all time shirt right here.
Undrafted. In your dynasty leagues. That's what he is. Undraftable.
Here's all the reasons he's undraftable. It's right there in the headband. Pause the video, check it out. All right. More videos coming soon. Hopefully Will comes back. Maybe not.
Hashtag.
Hashtag, I'm about to win this Dynasty League.
Cap.
See you guys.